Welcome to Automation Days Asia Day 1, Track 2. We are very fortunate today to have Gourav, who have just joined us to actually talk a little bit on a very interesting topic, which talks about the future of RPA in the AI era. Gourav, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hi, Johnny. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually looking forward to this session because I really wanted to understand, right, in the AI era, I mean, is there any future in RPA? Hopefully you can answer that question for us for this session, because it's going to be very interesting, right, to actually get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you are right. Like since last 6 years, people have been speculating. What is the future of RPA? For how many years we can see the RPA, right? And it is keep on evolving every year.
Yeah.
Something.
So I'm going to hand it over to you for this session to take us and the audience and myself through so that we can really appreciate this. Over to you, Gourav.
Thank you, Johnny. Okay. You guys can. Okay.
We can see the slide.
Can you guys see my second screen with the agenda?
Yes. It's perfect. Okay. We can see it. Excellent.
All right. Before I start with the agenda, let me introduce myself quickly. So I am Gourav Shivhare. I'm currently working with Maersk India Private Limited. It's the largest logistic company, container logistic company. I work as a general manager, and I am into automation for last 7 to 8 years. I started my automation journey in 2016, and where I first got introduced with Blue Prism RPA bots. And then since then, I have not looked back, and then the journey is continuing, right? From RPA to Gen AI to now industrial automation in Maersk. So it's just continuing, and I'm loving this space. Apart from working for Maersk as a general manager, I also have my other platform which I have recently built, which is called Industry Ready, where we transform people, their career, and especially we are right now working with women who have taken a career break. Yeah, so we transform them, we try to uplift them, upskill them, change their mindset, and then bring them back to their career journey. So this is what I do apart from working for Maersk. Okay, now diving into the future of RPA and AI era, right? So why I chose this topic? Because every year since 2012, 2021, I can say, where RPA has already completed 2-3 years by that time, I keep on hearing that, okay, maybe RPA will die in next couple of years, right? That, okay, there's a limitation of RPA, and after a certain year, people have to switch to some other domain, some other technology, because every company has their limited processes are there. If all the processes get automated, then what RPA will do, right? However, later on, when that was a discussion on 2020 and 21, right, where we started to see that, okay, maybe RPA is there, but let's see how much it can automate with the limitation RPA used to have with UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere. Those kind of tools were there, but their features were limited that time in 2020 and 2021, right? And then we started to see that, okay, they started to see what else they can do. So those tools only, all the other tools started to think about, okay, if there are limitations with the certain processes, that RPA can automate until that point, because that is like 20, 30, 40% of a process overall in a company. But when it comes to the complex processes where you require OCRs and all that, companies started to think, even the organization started to think, because they were not able to automate all their processes, right? So now let's deep dive into this, that I'm bringing that thought from 2021, 2022, and then how much it has shifted in last 3 to 4 years, right? And good for all of us, because what we have seen is a collaboration, right? It started with intelligent automation, and now with Gen AI come into the picture, everything is changed, right? and RPA is looking more robust, more powerful every day possible. Just a second, guys. Something is my eye. Okay. All right. Moving to the agenda. So we are going to deep dive. We will start little slow. We will start with some small amount of time with journey of RPA. I will not take a lot of time in journey of RPA because in our other session we have got a very good view about what exactly is RPA. But I will talk about how has been the journey overall, right, for the RPA. Then we will get to know about what are the different generations we have seen of RPA so far in last 7 to 8 years, right? Where majority of the work has happened in last 5 years, but RPA has been here for last 6 to 7 years at least. Then we are going to discuss about the main topic, which is adapting to the AI era. That how the AI when from the day AI has come into this space from last 1 or 2 years, and how the collaboration has happened between RPA and AI, and how it has become a more and more powerful and helping organizations to complete their process automation, which was actually pending from so many years, where the complexity was very high, and then they were not able to think beyond a certain point. And the last, we will talk about the Q&A, right? Where we will take some time. If there are certain questions, we can deep dive into it, right? Okay, how many are you excited about this session? Before I get into the journey of RPA, are you really looking forward? Any responses? I would like to see those. Wow, I can see so many
coming up. Gourav,
yeah.
Means everybody is excited with your question. That's a good indication.
I'm glad about it.
Yeah,
I'm glad about it. Yeah, it gives me more energy to start my session. All right, start with journey of RPA, right? So section 1 we are talking about. So this is about the journey of RPA. If you see in a broader aspect, some people may say that okay, RPA has been here since 2014, 2015. They started working so early in RPA, which is fine. But when we say 2019 is where the RPA actually started to see the light, right? Where in between 2015 to 2018, there was speculation. There's a tool, there's a new method of process automation, but nobody was understanding what it is. But then starting 2019, everybody, most of the organization understood that okay, there is a thing called RPA and it is going to stay here, right? And that's why we call it a start of RPA, the actual start of RPA. The process automation actually started where it gained the momentum in 2019. So that's the first, I will say, the start of the real big thing as an RPA, which happened in 2019, where most of the companies, so they were low hanging fruit, where easy automation were available, Excel automation, email automation, all of that has to be done, small processes to be done. All that companies started to look into that exactly. Okay, they have different department, they have HR, they have customer care, right? They have finance. All these departments, they started to build some backlog that exactly what all they can automate. And they can see that, okay, majority of the process they were already doing manually. It's just like about finding out whether this is possible to automate those processes. So starting 2018, 2019, we started to see companies have started building a strategy that, okay, if we are going to adopt to RTA, this new ways of working, what will be our strategy? And then they started to build some different, I will say, the department as an automation department, RPA department. So that started to happen in 2018, 2019, right? But that was just a start, because in 2018, 2019, the companies were still looking into exactly what are the good tools to adopt to. Is it Blue Prism is good, UiPath is good, which one I should go for, right? Or automation anywhere is good, or other small tools that were in the market. But majority of them were staying in these three tools. But process automation was happening with very, very limited scope. That okay, there are simple processes, they were getting automated through RPA because there were not many features that were available even in the tools. Then we started to see that okay, somewhere the backlog was created, then backlog started to build, started to get the development started. By 2020, by start of 2021, we have seen that different organizations that okay, the initial process got automated because the process automation for a small process hardly takes a month, right? With hypercare and everything, you can go live in 2 months. So in 2021 and where in 2020 where COVID hit, right? That was actually started to, it was I will say a disguise, right? Uh, and also it was a benefit for the companies who were into RPA because they started to see that okay, many companies, because people were staying at home, they started to see that okay, I think we have to do something. And if people are not able to work, how we can move our work from human to automation, right? So it started to gain momentum in 2020. After 2020, we started to see in 2021 where majority of the process got automated. And then people started, the companies, the department started demanding more that, okay, I have these many processes which are not even touched yet. They started to ask like, are your RPA really ready enough? Your robots are really ready enough to automate these processes, which requires more intelligent automation, more capabilities to predict some analysis, predict some decision making, read some data from PDF, from images, right? Where OCRs are required. All that started to make a shift. Where so basically it's a demand and supply thing, right? And the companies were already ready for this because they were already thinking about this, that okay, what all we can add. And UiPath, we have seen with UiPath especially started coming up with a lot of good feature in 2021 2022, where we started to see that it started to shift from normal automation to intelligent automation. And there we have seen that okay, intelligent automation, we start to see the machine learning, right, coming into the picture, where not a very big decision making but a small decision making to start with. We've started to use those patterns and all that. Starting then, this is about the intelligent automation, but the intelligent automation was still new for 2021. And then it really adopted and becomes really solid, where we in 2022 we started to see that okay, yeah, intelligent automation is the new thing, or it will remain for the next few years because it started to give the required benefit, right? Adoptions solidified, and then companies started to optimize end-to-end process and consolidating automation effort across technology. So what we have started to see in 2022, where companies not only working on using adoption these technologies, but also start to build that infrastructure, right? They have started to look into their internal infrastructure that okay, are we really ready for all that new type of intelligent automation? Because in last 2 to 3 years they have seen that okay, whatever was the low hanging fruit they were automate, but then there were blockers, right? Because of their own internal processes, their own internal infrastructure, their internal software. They have variety of the softwares which were not even available for the automation, right? So then they started to shift their they started to do the homework, and majority of them have done that. By the good organization, they have already learned the lesson between 2019 to 2020, and they have shifted their lot of infrastructure, moved to new softwares by 2022. But now still not our 100% processes got automated, because still we were at 50%, 40 to 50%, wherever other 50% require more and more decision making, require more intelligent decision making, which was not possible with the available software. With even intelligent automation was not able to support all the full 100% processes, right? And then 2023 we started to see that okay, the gen AI, right, gen AI came into the picture, where we start to see that okay, uh, it was still new, people were still understanding. But then after some time, when gen AI itself made it mark, companies started to use RPA plus gen AI as a collaborating tool. And then other companies like all the companies which provide software, including Microsoft, right, because starting 2022 to 23, Microsoft came into this picture and started like power automation and all became a thing where people started to see now or RPA is really there because Microsoft into the game, and they started coming with lot of good tools, right? And automation became so easy. So starting 23, we started to see that okay, companies also become smart. Their workforce becomes so smart that okay, they start playing with that. Okay, I have this RPA tool, I have this machine learning tool, I have this Gen AI also. How can I use all three of them so that I can automate my processes, right? So that's how the AI came into the picture, and now we are in 2024, where we are seeing that okay, majority of our company are using both RP and AI as a collaboration, right? And they are helping, or the bigger task was not about the tool, but how they can upskill their workforce, right? Because technology is there, but to use the technology, you should have the workforce who understand the technology. And that's where what we have seen in 2024, majority of the companies try to upskill their workforce so that they can have the better adoption of these both RPA plus AI as a collaboration, right? So this is how the journey has been since last 6 years, right? Any question, guys, onto this? Else I move to the next slide. Is it making sense? Have you been into this journey for last 6 years? Or some people who have started new, are you directly jumped into the AI? How is it has been for you? Okay. Although I can't hear or see the chats, I will understand that. Okay, yeah. I hope you have understood the first slide where you have seen the journey. We will now jump into the next slide, which is about getting into more into this, right? That we are still into the first journey of RPA era. So we are going to deep dive more into this, that okay, what has happened in last few years, right? So what I was talking about is initial RPA impact, where we started to see that starting 2019, only 20 to 30% of the processes which were getting automated, right? With the normal vanilla RPA we had. And the companies started to think that okay, how they can enhance their efficiency, how they can allow their human resources to focus on a strategic initiative, right? Because there was a challenge also on the ROI, that okay, are we really going to shift our people, human they were getting free, because the processes were getting automated. There was a big push that how we are going to manage our people, right? If there are is so there was a lot of 2019 and 2022, there was a lot of uh, processes, the people or department who were actually doing that automation by or actually doing those processes by manually. There was a lot of push from their side that okay, is is it going to kill all their jobs, right? And that took a lot of time from 2020 to 2022. It took a lot of time to understand that okay, see, even the RPA is there, not all the processes will get automated, and whatever is getting automated, that is also not going to take all the job, because every company requires some backfill also. So the company started to change their strategy, that okay, they stop doing the complete backfill, but started they're shifting their workforce from one task to the other task, because the first task is already automated. So all this we have seen, right? So this is the initial impact of the RPA. Then transition from RPA to intelligent automation, what we have seen, where we started to use OCR, we started to use some machine learning into the RPA itself, right? And then that started to help us. Then rise of the AI powered automation. Now into this one, we started to see now, which I just talked about, that okay, the rise of the AI powered automation, where we started to see the transformative business efficiency. We started to see that okay, our 50% automation is already done, but what about the rest of the right? For the rest of the 50%, we started to ask more as the demand more, that exactly what all is available. How can I use the decision making? How can I use the AI power tool so that I can complete my other automation also using the AI. And in last 1 year, 1.5 year, I would say AI is there, but still companies or workforce is still understanding how can they best use of AI, right? Because there are certain processes which is easy, right, where you can use the AI directly. You understand that okay, there is some decision making is there, or you can directly for the language translation and all that. It's so easy to adapt to the AI. But for other one, people are still trying to understand what will be the good use cases. How can I make better use case? Or how can I better use the AI, right? So all that we are seeing in last 1 year. Now we will get into that okay, what will be the strategy that company are using or should use, right? So I'll shift to my next section, which is we are talking about how the generations has happened. What are the different generations we have seen in RPA so far? So we have seen the three main generations: generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3, right? Generation 1, where we have seen the vanilla RPA; generation 2, where we have seen the intelligent automation; and the generation 3, which is now, which is RPA with AI, right? That is, we are into it currently. Now, let's talk about more into this. What exactly has been the foundation? So, foundation of automation, right? RPA serves as a cornerstone of automation technologies, enabling organization to automate repetitive tasks and improve operational efficiency through the deployment of software bots. I mean, some of you still remember that okay, when we were used to, there was a time when we all used to call robots, right? And there was a new term came in 2017, 28. We started to name it as a bot, right? So there initial the foundation was built of creating bots, right? Uh, and then we started to see that okay, all these companies came into the picture, and we started automating some processes through that. Now, after that, what happened, right? What it gives a task automation capabilities. So it gives basically that okay, there are certain processes which were done by human and which were easy to automate because those were the same steps that they were doing every day, right? The process related to data entry, the transaction processing, right? Or anything which related to finance or HR, where they have to fill some form, they have to send some emails. All that was easily possible to automate using the RPA. So we started to use those capability of RPA for automating such processes. The third one is about how the workforce reallocation happened. So the implementation of RPA allows companies to shift human resource from mundane tasks to strategic initiative, enhancing productivity and minimizing human error in repetitive process. So if we talk about, right, as I was talking about, that companies started to shift that okay, my people are the core of any organization, so they don't want to lose those people. At the same time, they have to find new places how they can contribute, how their people can contribute. So they have to build a strategy. People Companies have started build those organizations which were not only supporting the how they can. So there were multiple shifts were happening. One where there was a department has been built who was creating the backlog, that okay, what are the different processes we have to automate. The senior leadership started to think about, when the processes will get automated, how we are going to manage our human resource, right? How we will shift them, what are the annual ROI we are looking for, how many FT benefit we are looking for every year basis, how this can be clubbed into the KPIs of the managers or the leadership who are managing the department, so that they themselves start to come with some of the process automation. Because building, there was a big push, as I said, 2019 to 2020, there was a big push that okay, the organization or the departments were not coming up with the processes because there was a fear that their job will go away. So there was a big, I will say, shift required in the mindset, and that's how the leadership has started to play. That okay, they started to make them aware, make them console that okay, it is not going to take away your job, right? People who are leaving the job by their own will, we are not going to backfill those places most of the time, and we are going to, if the process got automated, you will have some other work to do as well. So this is what we have seen in between 2019 to 2020. The workforce reallocation start to happen, right? So this is about the initial journey of the RPA, what we have seen from 2017-18 to 2020, where how the small process got automated, what are the processes one can automate, how the workforce allocation reallocation happened. Now, second which we talk about this generation two is intelligent automation. So intelligent automation came into the picture, where we have seen the integration advance, and it started integration had to happen with the advanced tools, right? Advanced technologies. So we started to see that okay, a lot of data analytics, BI tools, Power BI, all that start to come into the picture, right? Which start to help us to find out to make a decision making, that how we can take small decisions by ourselves, because some complex processing is required, and for that you require the tool to support that complex processing, and that's where the intelligent automation has helped, right? um, then what we start to see, where companies were only stick to like 30% of their automation, they start to see that okay, with intelligent automation into picture, they were actually able to complete even 20 to 30 more percentage automation in their organization, because they were leveraging the real time data, right? And the automated decision making, they were leveraging onto that, and then they started to shift. uh, Also, the good thing happened, that a lot of companies had learned their lesson when they started doing the initial RPA. They found that okay, a lot of their processes were not getting automated because their internal infrastructure is not ready, their SOPs are not ready, right? And a lot of struggle is used to happen for getting even the requirement. So all that, when in by 2021, where intelligent automation came, a lot of all the previous problems were taken care of by the companies, by the leadership, and then we started to see the actual use of RPA. That is called intelligent automation, right? So so and it happens with every organization, every technology, right? Where initially there will be some push, there will be some lot of changes will be required in the mindset, in the infrastructure, and then you start to leverage on the real benefit after a couple of years. So after 2021, when intelligent automation came into picture, we started to see or get the better benefit from the RPA. Now in 2021, again the discussion was again like okay, people were still there that okay, is RPA going to is still there after 2024, 2025? So that speculation was always there, right? And people were like, I think my in my current organization, just giving examples, so people started to think about okay, my current organization already like 30-40% automation has already been done. In next couple of years, I will be able to complete the remaining 30-40 more percentage, and remaining 20% will never be getting automated. So looking like at that picture, by 2024, I think the end of RPA, everything will be in production. So either PU will move to the production job in RPA, otherwise there will not be any major future, right? That was how the speculation was. uh, so I'm just giving you the history, right? Because it's important to know, people who have started the RPA recently or is not in RPA since long, they should know that exactly how we have moved from different generation of RPA, right? How the mindsets have shifted, how the different tools and technology has come into the picture, because that is only going to help us to think about our next 2 to 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, right? Because there is still we are into the AI. So same as example, if you take about the RPA, we were in 2015 to 2018, 2019, the RPA was creating its base. Similar to AI, right now since 2023, AI is creating its base. So you may see that it may take 2 years, 3 years to creating the base. but the real benefit will start to come after 25, 26, because then there will be a lot of tools available. People must have thought about different use cases with each different domain of telecom, to logistic, all that, right? Different tools and companies have started to come with a lot of good use cases, and then only you start to see the real benefit coming out of AI, right? So every technology, every domain has their own journey. It's about understanding what is coming after 2 years. And people who have seen this kind of journey multiple times, they understand and foresee already, right? Okay, moving to this is about generation 3. So AI powered automation. In the AI powered automation, let me just see the time. Okay, we still have a lot of time. So in the AI powered automation, what we are seeing, right? Enhanced decision making. So right now there are use cases, uh, such as where you are getting a call, as you are a customer care agent, you are getting a call, and during the call you are supposed to come. Once you're taking the call, after that you are usually busy for maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute just typing your summary, right? Because whatever call you have to take, every call you have to talk about that, exactly who was calling, why they were calling, what is the resolution you have provided, and all that. Now that particular, those kind of things require some decision making, some intelligent also, that okay, exactly what has been I was talking about with the customer and all that. Now with AI coming into the picture, Gen AI I'm talking about. Gen AI, what it does, it while you are taking the call, even if you are taking in whichever language, right, it is understanding your call, creating a transcript. That transcript is getting I will say summarized by Gen AI and feed into your software, right? So you're saving that 1 minute for every call. So if a company where somebody is taking, there are thousands of calls are happening, right? And maybe like as a one agent is taking at least 300 to 500 calls a day, right? So if one guy is saving these many seconds, so and there are thousands of agents are working and taking different calls. Think about how much saving in seconds or workforce they can do, uh, just by having summarization of the call, right? Translation is the second thing. That's even more powerful, right? And then another thing is like, okay, previously we used to have, so somebody's taking a call, right? Or I'm there was a call is happening, somebody is talking to me or sending me a document, maybe it's a handwritten document. Previously OCR was able to read the document, but the efficiency was hardly 60 to 70%, because if it is a handwritten document, you cannot judge, or you cannot reach to a conclusion that exactly what is written. But now what we have done, our models are ready. Models has been trained into that particular language, in those German or French, all those languages. Those are trained. So as soon as the OCR is reading the document, it is fed to that, that particular model is reading that exactly, that what is being what OCR has given the input, and then it is now taking that input. And because using that model, they have already trained German and French, so they understand the language, that okay, if something is written like this, even if it is halfway through, they understand that okay, it should be this word. So the efficiency has gone from 50-60% to 90%, right? All that has happened because we have the AI powered bot are available now, right? So this is one of couple of use cases which I'm talking about, which recently I have worked with, but it wasn't possible in 2021, 2022, which I start to see now in 2023 and 2024. So that's what the beauty of it, like with using the AI powered automation, we start to see the real benefit, or the all more majority of the complex bots are getting built. Okay, so I'm done with my section 1, section 2, right? Now I will jump to the adoption of the AI era. Now before I jump into this, right, is it making sense, guys, what I'm talking about, or is it just a plain talk from my side? Thank you.
I think it's very,
Let me
very
see a
interesting.
couple of.
You've actually shared a very, I should say, distinct viewpoint from my perspective. It does make sense. I think the audience are also showing up a lot of emoji, echoing some of your sentiment and viewpoints as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So now we will jump to the main section, which is more about how we are adopting to this AI era. Yeah. Okay. What do you expect to change, right? Or how you have to, because if you talk about, right, as I just compared, right, the start of RPA from 2015 to 2018, where it was creating its base, people who have upskilled them, companies who have created the infrastructure, they have foreseen the changes, they were getting the fruit of that change, right? They were getting the benefit of those all the changes. So now the companies are becoming smart, people are also becoming smart. They have, because prior to 2015 we used to see that, okay, a lot of mostly people were into some typical 2 3 technologies. They were like, people are either into development doing Java or .NET, either into the QA also. There was a small percentage of doing the automation, right, which was related to the test automation. Majority of the doing was not doing the automation, they were doing the manual testing. And then there was a business analyst and the management layer, right? These are the 3 4 layers we used to see before 2015. But after 2015 we started to see the major change, right? We start because there was a change in the mindset was happening. Multiple technologies were coming into the picture, right? People were not sticking to only couple of technologies into the development. Even the testing changed. The ways of thinking as a business analyst has changed, and then started to see a lot of new things. Like, we were into the waterfall model. We started to see that, okay, everybody started, then companies started to shift from waterfall to agile. A lot of new roles start to coming in picture, right? Product owner, scrum master, and agile coach and all that. So so now we are into the similar type of place in 2024. In next couple of years we will see such consolidation is done from AI point of view, and majority of the organization has understood exactly, or they have already started adopting to these new technologies. They have started to see that, okay, how they can uplift the or upskill their current infrastructure, their current workforce to be upskilled. All that is already started in 2020, start of 2024, but it will remain there for next couple of years, because after that only we are going to see the real use cases coming into the picture. Most of the organization which I know are still struggling or finding it out what can be the real use cases may happen using the AI. Right? And it takes time. Even with RPA, majority of the companies were not even knowing during 2018 2019 that, should we use waterfall, should we use agile, how should we use agile in RPA, right? Is it really possible to use waterfall in RPA? What is the real good tool to use, right? All that was happening for 2 3 years. And similarly, right now we are into in similar stage where we don't know, like, okay, should we use Google, we use Amazon AWS, right? So all the speculation is still there. People are still adopting to different type of tools. What model should we take up if we are using AI, right? And if we are upskilling our workforce, in which particular tool we should upskill them? What are the different roles will be possible when it comes to AI or Gen AI, right? And how it is collaborating with RPA. I have the people who are already there. So if I'm thinking from organization point of view, I have people who are already there and I have a good team of RPA, right? But are we really ready with that same team who can leverage the AI? If everybody is ready to move from RPA plus AI, or some of the people are ready, so all that shift is happening, right? So the first thing, right, upskilling for relevance in the job market. So let's talk about first thing for the people. If you want to remain relevant, right? If you were into RPA for last 4 5 years, it's time to think about that. Okay, how you start to learn more about Gen AI, how you start to use the more cloud technologies, right? How you start to think differently, right? What are the different automation tools that you can master, which are using both RPA and AI, right? Uh, what are the different use cases are possible using AI? Because more you will think about it, your mind will open, and then start to think about, okay, how I can get myself upskill in particular type of technology. So this is about technological proficiency that I think is taking place right now, or will take place in next 1 year, which is will make us relevance in the job market. Then data literacy, right? So data is everything. So how we understand the data more, how we understand the data, or we understand that, okay, the entire domain is now data centric, right? The entire environment is data centric. And how we start to think about, or what are the right tools to learn, which can actually help us segregating that data or making that data more useful. So this is more from a company point of view and individual point of view, that how they can start to develop those skills, which is more related to data, right? Understanding those mining tools and all that. So this is about data literacy. And then adaptability and collaboration, right? So cultivating soft skills, such as adaptability and teamwork, right? This has always been there, but it is more of a generic point that, okay, if even if we are into this domain, such soft skills and all those will still remain relevant, right? Collaboration, more and more collaboration is going to happen. So this is about the first thing, right? About for the individuals. So how to upskill, how to remain relevant, what are the things they have to make sure that, okay, they are thinking about. Not only if there are certain people or companies are still there in RPA thinking, not thinking about automation, intelligent automation, or not even thinking about AI, right? Because they were very late in the game, and they are still trying to complete their initial automation. There's a very less time for those companies or people who are into those, right? They have to upskill or find out quicker way how they can switch to these new things, because then they will be late again in the new game, right? So upskill for relevance in the job market. This is the first thing. Changing business strategy in the AI era. So this is more for the companies, right? What they should do, or what they have already started doing, or they have to do. They have to adopt. So first thing is automation as a core strategy. So their strategy, their operational framework, their people, their departments, everything has to be changed or must have been changed, which is talking from an automation point of view, right? That they have a department. Okay, how many people we have, how many bots we have. Each department nowadays, they have workforce divided into 70/30 or 60/40, where 60% work is done by human, 40% work is done by bots, right? So what is their strategy? How? Because they will require budget for their human, they will equally require the budget for their running their bot, their license fees, their maintenance cost, and all that, right? And they have to keep on thinking about that, okay, whether I'm putting the money that I have put for my automation, is it giving me the same level of ROI or not, right? Because in 2020, people who started doing the automation in 2019, 2022, there was a ROI of 2 to 3 years, right? And after 2022 only, they were started to say that, okay, now we are getting the actual benefit whatever we have invested. But now they are actually calculating and trying to calculate, are we really getting the same benefit that we have been promised, right? So now, using that, all the learnings they have in last 5 years, they companies started to do already, or they should do that. What is their core strategy for the automation? What is the framework they are going to use? What will be the team sizes, right? What is the softwares and tools are required to run around these automations? Because if there are companies who are still running the old ways, right? They are lagging behind, right? And the newer companies who are coming with lot of automation, the new workforce, the upskill workforce, they are started to see that make major shift in the market. So the strategies of their automation is very, very fundamental, very important. And second one is continuous learning, right? What we used to see in the past, like, okay, the companies, like, since I'm talking about from a mainframe era, right? Those things, or SAP, I would say, where companies used to think about, okay, once my workforce is built, 2 3 years they have taken to understand the domain, to understand the tool. Now they're going to stay relevant for next 10 years, right? But that's not true anymore. There's a continuous learning culture is to be built, that okay, your people are ready, they're eager, that exactly what is how the market is changing. As a company, as an individual, we are already forecasting that, and our changing our ways of working accordingly, right? We are adapting to the new technologies. We are fostering that environment which is require more innovation and resilience. All that require our skill development, right? uh, and that only can happen when you have a culture to be built, that okay, you are having some training sessions happening, your people. So the I will say the days are gone where used to have the offline training module and all that used to happen in the company, because by cutting the cost, none of the organization is now putting that money into the offline training. Majority of the company expecting their workforce doing only online courses, right? Or trying to help each other by upskilling, right? If somebody has learned something new, they are trying to leverage using that, right? But this is the new ways of working, that culture has been built, that okay, there are new every week, there are in the teams, every week there's a learning session happening, that okay, I've learned something, let me share that knowledge. So that all is part of the culture that organization is required, right? If the organization has not built that kind of culture, they are lagging behind, right? This culture has to be built, people to be motivated, people to be appreciated, that okay, if you have learned something good, you have done some new certification, and you are able to share that knowledge, you are our go-to people, right? That's how the culture has to be built. And the third one is about the agile business model, right? uh, Companies who have already built, most of the companies are into agile now, right? They are using the agile methodology, but till 2021 2022 we have seen the agile was there, but it was not the true agile that companies were using. And companies were using the painted agile, right? Where they were just trying to say that okay, we are agile, but actually they were not actually agile. They were not using all the true benefits of agile. And that's where we see that okay, they were failing. But majority of the companies have understood, they have now they have the agile coaches and all that, who help them build the right culture, to understand that okay, how they can be true agile, right? So this is how the changing the business strategies from in AI era is important. Automation as a core, your strategy has to be clear, your culture has to be clear from a learning point of view, and you should be agile from everywhere, right? And this is about my last slide, which going to talk about future trends in process automation and AI integration. I still have time, Lee.
We are almost running out of time, Gourav. I
Okay.
think, yeah. So we can quickly wrap up for the
Sure.
last slide.
Sure. I will take hardly 30 seconds.
No worries.
So what we see, right? What will happen now in next couple of years? Who are people who are into this domain or into automation or new to this? What they will see, that AI, once they start to see majority of the new AI tool will come, right? Where they will start to use the Gen AI on all that and find out the real use cases of that. We start to see the potential will coming out, right? The telecom companies, or software companies, or logistic companies, they start to use this tools which is built by some of the organization by using the real Gen AI use cases, and that's where they will start to use the real proficiency or efficiency of this Gen AI, right? So as I and then collaborative automation ecosystem is getting built. So previously you used to have one what an automation tool is used to do a lot of things, but now we are seeing multiple tools. A suite is getting created, like Microsoft has done that, and that becomes a way to go, right? that okay, the collaboration automation system is there, and majority more and more softwares you are collaborating, and then you are giving one big suite or one good system which you does your end-to-end job. So this is how the entire I would say so we are into the good space when it comes to the AI, right? We have to just be from a RPA, people who are into the RPA, they have to just keep on learning new things about, understand exactly what is coming new, how they can leverage, use a lot of online training, and then make them upskill by using those online training, and reach to that AI, that okay, they start understanding what is data, right? That is all very important. So this is how the environment is changing, and I think I would say we should try to upskill, and companies are changing them also, right? So we should try to help them also. So that's it from my side. I hope you like the session. I tried to give you a brief. Yeah.
Yep. I really appreciate Gourav for sharing such an intense, thought-provoking, I should say, session for us to really appreciate the continuous learning. I think a lot of organizations may have missed what we call the thought process of really, like you said, right, being agile, being able to focus on what is next. Again, we thank you for your time, for giving such a in-depth discussion. Unfortunately, we already run out of time. We can't attend any of the questions. Nonetheless, do connect with Gourav on LinkedIn. We hope to catch up with you again soon. Thank you, Gourav, for joining us for this session. Right? Coming up next, we do have the upcoming panel discussion. Please do join us at the hour to understand what is coming up. So we will be talking about the resilient business strategy with RPA and intelligent automation. So I hope to see everybody in that session shortly. All right. Thank you.